Is it going to work this time? Oh, here we go. Hallelujah. See, it didn't work the last time I tried to go live, and it said, nah. It said, you can't go live, sir. And then it just didn't want to work. So give me 5 seconds, guys, while I add a link to things and such. Where's the link? How's everybody doing on this lovely Wednesday night? I have not been live in a long time. But I hope you guys are doing well. It is Wednesday. It is, 8:43, so I'm like 15 minutes earlier than I said I was going to be, which is new for me on here, but regular for me in real life. Cool. Updated link on the Instagram feed. What is up, Robert? What is up, Junior? What is up, Phoenix? How's it going? I am just going to post it really quickly. There. Look at that. That's how you take a picture. And then you hit them with the link in bio and you post it to your story. All right, guys. How is Wednesday night treating you? I don't know how to Instagram apparently anymore because this is not wanting to pay attention to me. Boom. Cactus, Spectre. What'd it do? What is that boneless coating? How is it going? That's right, Robert. You're like a whole day ahead because you're a time traveler from Australia. Pretty crazy. I remember it was January. It was December 31st. I flew to Cape Town, and it was the best thing ever because it was like 12 degrees here, and it was summer in Cape Town because Southern Hemisphere and all. Really, really good timing to be going to the Southern Hemisphere. But long time no see. It's true, Time Lord. It is true. I have not been here in a while, which means that lots of people have ran away from the channel and nobody's going to come say hi on the live stream. No, I'm just kidding. We got 10 people here. And 10 people is more than I used to have. Man, early live streams, those early days on the live stream are 5 people, 3 people. Or like when I streamed on Twitch for those 10 times I streamed on Twitch. Those were bad things. Speaking of Twitch streaming, you see, I had all these plans to do this stuff, and then I haven't gotten around to it yet. But what I do have now, I am on a Mac right now, but I have my PC laptop. It's a little fake gamer laptop. I guess it's not fake. It's got legit specs. But I now have a PC laptop, which means I can do more with live streaming, which is one of the big plans for this channel. That includes doing streams playing video games while I talk to you guys on here, doing some stuff on Twitch. And being able to use my camera. See, right now I'm using a webcam, but I have this thing, and I can plug this thing into that thing and then feed it through OBS and use the nice camera to live stream as opposed to this webcam camera that wants to change contrast every time I move in and out of frame. So that'll make a big difference on quality. And I'm excited about it. I just need to get around to setting all of that up, which I haven't done yet. Yeah, I am doing okay, Bruno. I'm doing as well as one can expect to be doing. No, I am good. There were bad days. There are probably more bad days to come, but I'm doing good, man. Justin, how are you? How is it going? How is your Thursday night? Currently working. Robert, what are you working on? Tell me what you're working on. You're working probably, right? At work. That's funny. I went into Josh Fluke's stream earlier today while I was at work, hanging out in developer streams while working. I also got this when the hurricane happened. So 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. If you watch my recent video, I was in Ohio for a while, and then I drove back down, and the day after I got back, the hurricane hit the East Coast. Now, luckily, it didn't hit us too bad, but it did hit us. we got lots of rain and a decent amount of flooding in my area. Not nearly as bad as what they did like a little bit south of where I am, but yeah, for sure. But I got this, and this is like an old 35 millimeter camera, which is like pretty cool. And I'm like a big fan of it. And I'm going to take a picture of the live stream right now. So the reason why I bring this up, this old 70s era 35 millimeter camera, is because I actually just bought a domain this morning at 4:30 in the morning. What happened was I got like kind of sick last night, and I don't know why. Like I just felt really bad. I ended up sleeping a lot, and then woke up at 4 this morning. I usually wake up or try to wake up at 5. So I was up. I didn't want to go to the gym this morning because I wasn't feeling super great the night before or today. And I've had this idea, like I got this 35 millimeter camera. I shot like a bunch of rolls of film on it, and I went and got them processed. And so I looked at the pictures and I decided I wanted to start posting them online. And I could just make a Flickr, but like, what fun is that? So I'm going to like just build a super simple like photography site. And so I bought a domain, and I bought hosting for it. And it's Aaron Takes Photos XYZ. And right now it's just like literally the 2017 WordPress theme, because it like comes installed on the hosting. But I am currently the proud owner of that domain, and eventually it will house the pictures that I take. Let's see. I'm allowed to link in my own chat, aren't I? Why didn't that show up as a link? Maybe because I didn't HTTP it. Anywho's, that will be the website where I post my 35 millimeter film. I'm at work doing some stuff on our products. We are a VR company. There's a VR company. Well, we just moved offices. At our old office, there was a VR company like right down the hall, and they're like the coolest dudes ever. Coming from Taipei, my day is just starting. You and Robert both. Post the live vid. Got to get to work. Stay up. Have a good one, Justin. You will see this soon. It'll be up on the channel like 30 minutes after. Can I start doing tutorials on JavaScript since I am learning it because I'm going to a bootcamp Dev Mountain in Dallas next year? When next year? That's awesome. I don't typically do tutorials. The only thing about tutorials that for me, I don't do tutorials because I don't feel as though like that's what I'm going to be best at on this channel, right? There are plenty of other people who do tutorials, and they do tutorials way better than I can. That's not to say that I don't want to explain technical things or start doing some more technical videos, because I do. I actually kind of want to make like a basics series going over some basic concepts of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and giving basic examples of those. So that would be like, I'm trying to think, the only thing I can think of is like super simple things, but like say like an input field, doing an example of an input field, the different type of types you can have on an input field, different ways to style that input field, and then different like ways to accept input from a user through an input field and then send that input off. Just like super duper basic stuff like that, and a couple of videos for each like HTML, CSS, and yeah. Co-lead, so I'm way too busy. I understand that, sir. I am the only developer at my company other than the two founders, and one of them mostly does sales now, and the other one does a lot of design work because he's also like, he's a super dope designer, so he does a lot of design work. So I understand the being very, very busy aspect of it because I am the same way. What's up, Mama Bear? My lights, they are in the other room. They are in the other room, rolled up in that little spindle. If you guys haven't seen my newest video, there are lights in the background that I bought for like 20 bucks on Amazon. I thought they were super cool. Not everybody agrees with me, but I like them. So I went to a boot camp, right? If so, what would you give me a heads up on before I attend? Yeah, I went to a boot camp here in Durham, North Carolina. So my biggest my biggest piece of advice, like before you go, is don't stress too much. If they, I don't know Dev Mountain well enough, but if they give you pre-work, the Iron Yard gave us pre-work. It stressed me out a little bit. I didn't even finish it all because I was stressed about it. And like, not everyone really, like, I didn't get it that well because it was like really dry, like a book learning way of learning. And yeah, it just wasn't the best way to learn. And so I stressed about it a lot and it freaked me out. The problem is that like after the first week of the boot camp, we were past anything the pre-work was talking about. And I got it way better than I did with the pre-work because I had somebody teaching me, right? You're going to a boot camp, you're paying a lot of money to go to a boot camp because you need an instructor and you need that structure. Otherwise, you could, self-teach and all that stuff. But don't get too stressed about pre-work. Go into it with an open mind. Try to maybe, if you have the ability to, like, take a couple of days off before you start. Like, don't just jump in from job right into the boot camp because it's going to be intense and it's going to be rigorous and you're not going to have a lot of time on your hands like during it. Your social life may go to hell, which mine did. Yeah. And then like just absorb. Like it's like anything else in life. You get out what you put in, give it your all, give it everything that you can, and you'll come out on the other side with a way better shot of landing a job with way more skill and knowledge and understanding of what you need to do. So Messi or Ronaldo? I feel like I'm going to offend people, but I was a strong Team Messi person for a really long time until the past couple of years, and now I think Ronaldo. I know. What about you, Ajaz? Are you a Messi or a Ronaldo kind of guy? Personally, I'm a Harry Kane guy. I'm a Dele Alli guy. I'm a Christian Eriksen guy because I'm a Tottenham fan. But if I have to pick Messi or Ronaldo, probably picking Ronaldo. I am in Prosper. I am in Irving. That's what's up, guys. So a little Dallas love. I've never been to Dallas. Places in Texas I've been are Houston, Austin, and San Antonio, but I've never been to Dallas. They chill. Everyone in Ohio likes the lights. That's because people in Ohio have good taste. A Messi fan. Do I have an online portfolio? Not anymore. I used to, and I will again someday, but I'm currently not looking for a job. And sometimes if you put a portfolio out there, you get people that like hit you up because they find your portfolio. I should make one. It's just mine. The one that I had when I was looking for a job was really bad. So, yeah. You should have a portfolio if you're looking for a job. It's not necessary if you aren't looking for a job. I'm not looking for a job, so I don't have one, but it's one of the most important things that you need, especially if you're self-taught or a boot camp grad and you're looking for your first job. Like, it's super important to have one. So don't be like me and put a portfolio up. Spurs fan too. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go. Yeah. 5. Yeah. Everybody was out. Everybody. I hate Dallas. Originally from Cincinnati though. So your last video was kind of crazy hearing that. Yeah, man. It was a wild day for me. I have a buddy who lives in Cincinnati, like a really close friend who lives in Cincinnati, and then like a friend who I'm in a fantasy football league who lives in Cincinnati. And one of them works downtown, and it was like, hey, is everybody okay? And you think everybody's okay, and then you go through your normal thing, like when you hear about a shooting and you get pissed off about it. Like nobody likes to hear that there's something like that going on. And then, yeah, like news, it was wild. Yeah. So Eric, you're in Dallas now? Oh yeah, Prosper. I don't know shit about Dallas, so I'm not going to know where Prosper is, but I was a fan of Austin. Like, I thought Austin was pretty okay. I did not like Houston at all, and I never saw any part of San Antonio except for Lackland Air Force Base and the airport, so I can't really give you a very good picture about how San Antonio is. But the thing I hated about Houston was like the traffic, even at 8 o'clock at night, was like bad. Like it was bad. I have a portfolio, but don't know what to put there. I do have projects, but don't know if they are enough to attract an employer. I mean, I'd put your projects on your portfolio. As you get better projects, put those on your portfolio. You don't have every project you've ever built. Like if you have 30 little teeny projects that you've made from like 5 different Udemy courses, maybe don't put all those on there. And as you start building more and more complex things, put those on your portfolio and like make them featured more. That's really the important thing. Josh Fisher, 937 in the house. Josh, where are you from? Talk to me about the Dayton area. Where are you at? What is up, John? How are you? What makes you want to learn Python? Are you looking to learn Django? Thomas, yes, I am. I would like to learn Django. I want to learn Python because so there's 2 reasons why I want to learn Python. And one of them is because it's like the hot thing to learn right now. Everybody likes to talk about Python, right? It's really popular on YouTube. Like a lot of people talk about Python on YouTube. So that makes me want to learn it so that I can understand whether it's something that's like worth it to learn for you guys or not. But then the other thing is that I've just heard a lot of really interesting things about Python when it comes to which language you should learn, like which language you should learn first. A lot of people say like Python and Ruby are really good first languages. And so I want to go through that experience of learning Python through the eyes of somebody who's trying to pick up their first language and see like, 1, is it a decent enough language to learn and like land a job afterwards? 2, is it really that much easier to learn than JavaScript if it's your first programming language? And is it worth it? Is it worthwhile? What can I do with this? And what can I show off with this that could get me hired at the places that hire people who are junior developers who are self-taught? I think that's really interesting to know because a lot of people tell you, hey, go learn Python first. But if you go out and you spend 3 months learning Python, and then you find out that there are no places that want Python skills by a self-taught developer, then what was the point of learning Python? It may have been easier than learning JavaScript, but if you just skip it and learn JavaScript first and you get a job, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of want to go through that experience and see what it is. You're never going to get annoying with the questions, man. That's why I'm here, Jose. You feel free to ask. But at the end of the boot camp, do you like get a certificate? I know it varies of which boot camp you go to. Yeah, is mine. We moved recently. We haven't completely unpacked yet, but you get like, I got like a little diploma thing from it. It doesn't really matter, that diploma, like nobody ever checked it. The boot camp that I went to, I picked to go to this boot camp because it's really well known in the area. So I say I'm an Iron Yard grad. They call somebody up at the Iron Yard and they make sure that I graduated. That's how it worked for the first job that I got. The Iron Yard's defunct now, but like the lady who ran the Iron Yard the entire time I was there is still like well within the realm of getting in touch with people. So yeah, I went to the boot camp that I went to because it put a lot of people out into the world of development in the triangle area of North Carolina. And I knew that if I did what I needed to do, I would have a job at the end, whether I got a piece of paper saying that I graduated or not. So I'm in North Dallas. It takes forever to drive anywhere here. I'm going to community college for web development online here. However, I need a better job soon or I will have to move to Korea. To Korea? To teach English as a second language type of thing? What would you move to Korea for? Do you not want to move to Korea? I've heard Korea is a pretty fun place to live. A girl that I joined the Air Force with lived in Korea for like 6 years and loved it. But if you're going unwillingly, then I understand why you wouldn't want to go. Dayton, Ohio, closer to Fairborn. I grew up not closer to Fairborn. I grew up near the Dayton area, in Xenia, if you know where that is. So are you over in Riverside, Josh Fisher? What's up, Skills? How's it going? Do you think it's easier to learn front-end web development in a college setting or online? And that's going to be really dependent upon your own personal style. Like, I'm not I've never really tried online learning in a serious way. Like I took a couple of college classes online that I did not take seriously at all because they were online classes. As an adult, if I try to do online learning, I'm sure I would take it more seriously. My beard is all, I need to really clean this thing up. I'm sorry. It's really, really dependent upon how you learn best, right? And if you go to college for web development or for computer science, you're going to learn a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with it. If you go to like an online boot camp, it's just going to be that. But if the online learning style doesn't work for you, then it's going to be better to go to a real school. Learn PHP as first backend language. It will get you a job like guaranteed. PHP is popular. PHP is around everywhere. You know, WordPress PHP, Drupal PHP, Craft PHP. There's a lot of stuff that's built on PHP. It's just not a fun experience to learn. It's the problem. What community college you go to? I would like to take it to, is it in the DCCCD? What's up, Ramsey? How's it going? It's almost rocket season again, so they can break your heart one more time. How are you doing, man? I broke into the industry about 2 weeks ago. My company works in Python and Django. That's awesome, Alan. That's awesome. Where are you at? Are you in the are you in the States? And if you don't mind, what part of the country are you in? If you are. Applied for about 40 front-end dev jobs, got rejected from most of them. No junior positions around here, sadly. Where are you at, Nigel? Where's you at? And are you getting rejected straight out, or are you like getting calls back and they're looking into your background? And do you think there's anything that you could be doing differently to maybe get a call back? Like trying to like beg and plead on cover letters and stuff like that. Aaron, React, Angular, or Vue? What framework should I learn first for here in RDU and NC? It's the exact order that you put them in. React, Angular, Vue is going to be the like level of popularity. In general, you could always like go on Indeed and do a quick search, see what more people are asking for, but I don't think you can go wrong learning React or Angular. Vue is a much, much distant third. Yes, to teach English for 2 years and study web development is just a long time in a foreign country. Yeah, I understand that, man. I understand that. Closer to Southwest, Beaver Creek, South Fairborn, North Riverside. Work as a full-stack PHP dev by 2nd Street Market in Dayton. That's what's up, man. That is what's up. It's so funny that there's like stuff going on in downtown Dayton now, because when I lived in the Dayton area, like there was the ballpark, there was the Oregon district, there was Mask, and like nothing else. Like you didn't do anything in downtown Dayton. Those were like the only 3 things. Collin College. If you already have a degree, I would teach yourself and only do some. Collin College. Don't know it. C# isn't bad to learn for variety. I know nothing. Like literally, like I know less C# than I know piano. Like I know no C# at all. I couldn't give you any kind of. Portland, Oregon, getting rejection emails. I had one phone interview that went pretty well today for a React Electron job. Well, that's what's up, man. At least you have one thing. It only takes one. That's the thing. It only takes one. Are you writing cover letters and reaching out to people like before they reach out to you to try to like be like, hey, I'm here and I'm here for real. And I really want to do this. Or are you letting them come to you? Because sometimes it takes a little extra hustle. Like if your area isn't like looking for a lot of junior positions, like if that's not what your area is at right now, like sometimes you got to go hustle and become a little bit of a salesman. I got relocated from Louisiana to Houston by my new job. To Houston. We were just talking about Houston. How do you like Houston so far? Houston annoyed the crap out of me. You're welcome, Patricia. You retracted a message. What did you say? I do live, Johnny Petey. If you want to know why I wasn't around for a while, I released a video yesterday talking about it. It's not the most fun story in the world, but web developer. I just got hit up by a recruiter asking for somebody. He wants to hire somebody for a .NET position. Sir, I don't know .NET. You found me through LinkedIn. Nowhere on my LinkedIn profile does it say .NET. Recruiters just like throw ping pong balls at a wall and like hope that they can hit their target just once. Just mass emails. Like I've never looked at .NET in my life. You want to hire me for a .NET job? Get out of here. It's like the first time you put web developer on your LinkedIn, you'll have somebody hit you up and be like, I got the perfect role for you. And like you just put web developer on there. You haven't even actually worked as a web developer. You just put it on your LinkedIn. And it'll be like, yo, look, dream job, great benefits, great pay. You don't work Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays after 3 p.m., right? But I'm going to need you to have 6 years of React experience, 2 years of Swift experience, and 1 year building garages. Cool? And you're like, dude, I just put web developer on my portfolio or on my LinkedIn, and you're asking me to have 6 years of experience with the technology? Get out of here, recruiter. You literally sent this to literally every person in the tri-state area. Get out of here. Is WordPress worth learning? I barely see any job postings for it here in NC. I work with WordPress in North Carolina. It's worth learning if you want to freelance. It's worth learning if you want to like do like agency life, because that's what, you know, the place I work is an agency. We do a lot of work with WordPress because it's the most common thing to work with. And that's what clients want, because their old website was on WordPress, so they know the system and they don't want to learn a new system to like have their website up to date and running. So yeah, if you're wanting to do client work, if you're wanting to do freelance, if you're wanting to work for a company where you do client work, WordPress is worth knowing, or at least some sort of PHP using CMS like Drupal or Craft. It's worth knowing. Those kinds of recruiters are the absolute worst. They get ghosted quick. It's true. It's true. They hit you with a friend request. They hit you with a quick message and they hope you hit okay. I got my job by hustle. They were looking for on-site lead dev. And by the time I jumped through hoops and bent over backwards without them asking me to, and they created a junior partial remote position just to give me a chance, learn the skills, but you still have to hustle. That's absolutely true. It's amazing. It's amazing what people will do to bring in like good talent that doesn't have all of the knowledge you think they should to have the job they have. And what I mean by that is if you show yourself to be talented, hungry, and driven, and ready to make a difference for the company, they're more likely to bring you on as a junior developer because you're cheap and they can teach you to do exactly what they want you to do in the way they want you to do it. And you can do all the work that nobody else wants to do there for a while until you learn. And then they find the next to you. Like that's the dream for some of these for some of these shops. And sometimes they don't realize it, or sometimes they're not thinking about it because they have a bigger need. But if you can make the right connections and if you can do that hustle thing right, then you can get your foot in the door that way. I see 19 people in the chat room. I see 4 thumbs up. I'm going to need some people to hit the thumbs up button more. What do you think about Coding Garden with CJ? I have no idea what that is. It does not sound like what I think it probably is. Coding Garden with CJ. Let's see. Slowly but surely, my internet loads as I try to... Is this a new channel? Setting up stream overview of equipment and setup. I don't know anything about this, but I would check it out now. What do you think about Coding Garden with CJ? You tell me. Plus, he has a crazy mustache. He has a crazy mustache? I don't see that in the thumbnails. Oh, I guess he does. It's like a goatee type thing. Do you like his stuff, Ramsey? You let me know. Do you like his stuff? I think Ramsey Ramsey's actually like a pro-ass developer, and he built a bot that like if there's ever a tag on YouTube with JavaScript or web development or front-end web development or anything like that, he like It just instantly like downloads to his computer, his iPhone, his tablet. It downloads to like his cousin's computer, who then calls him and says, "Hey, there's a new developer channel out," and Ramsey's on top of it. You learn a lot of stuff from them. That's awesome. That's dope. See if he wants to come on the channel. Do you talk to him? Tell him to come hang out. I'll do a stream with him. For a couple small React apps, would you still use Redux for state or just pass state down as props to components? Have you used the new React Context API? You don't need Redux if it's a small project. Like I think we overuse Redux in the world because it's not necessary. If you're making a counter app, yeah, you can like go ahead and fire off some actions and throw Redux in there, but it's not really necessary, right? If you're building projects to put on your portfolio to try to like show off, maybe use some Redux for that, or maybe MobX. It's a little bit less. I'm trying to think of. It's like it's not as big. It's not as big of a learning curve. But yeah, I would. If you're trying to get a job doing React and Redux, you should have a project on your portfolio where you're using Redux. Just make sure the like project isn't so tiny that if you were to tell somebody that you have Redux in there, they're like, well, but why? Watching from the bowling alley. What is up, Craig? We interacted earlier today over on Josh's stream. How you bowling, man? I'm a terrible bowler. Like if I break 100, that's a good time for me. I've got two strategies when it comes to bowling. It's either grab like a really heavy ball, throw it as hard as I can, as straight as I can, and hope I hit in somewhere in the middle, or I grab like the lightest ball, like you know those pink like 8-pound balls, and I just like cup it and I just spin the out of it and hope it hits somewhere. I'm no good at bowling. What is up, Chris Nemo? How we doing today? Do you know Kevin Powell? He's a front-end developer. Pretty sure there's a car dealer in my hometown named Kevin Powell. Crazy Kevin Powell. Is that a thing? I do not know Kevin Powell. He's got 33,000 subscribers, though. How long has he been around? It's so funny that there are like these whole like sides of developer YouTube that I've just never even seen. Cause like I get recommended the same like 12 or so people's videos because they're who I watch because they're who interacts with me. It's pretty funny. What are some websites that you know of or used to get programming jobs? I found my first job through that company's website. I searched like local startups and local like early round businesses in the area that I'm from. And I found a like local newspaper that listed like 10 different startups that were in the area. I went to each one of those companies' pages, went to their career page and see if they were trying to hire. That's how I found the first job that I got. I found my second job through mutual connections, and I've had a lot of success getting callbacks and interviews through places like Indeed, LinkedIn, Stack Overflow, and Dice. Those are places that you can use to apply for jobs for sure. Indeed seems to have the most. I like LinkedIn and the style that they use for their job postings a lot more than LinkedIn, a lot more than Indeed, but kind of have to try both. What type of projects would you recommend for front-end portfolio? Thanks. So I have a whole video about this actually, like a few projects that you can build for a front-end portfolio. I would do some sort of like responsive web development project, HTML, CSS, like a pure HTML, CSS responsive website that has like dope CSS animations, and make it like just HTML, CSS. Like show that you can make dope stuff with just those two things. And then I would also try to go with like a nice vanilla JavaScript project where the JavaScript is handling like user interaction stuff. That could be like a memory game where like you flip a card over, and if two cards match, then they stay flipped over, and if not, they go down, and maybe like have a lives counter count down until you're at 0 lives, and then the game starts over, something like that. And then I would definitely do some sort of project where you're working with an external API, requesting data and showing it and displaying it on the front end. It's not always super easy if you only know front end to get to the point where you can have an API that you can send data to save to. They're not. It's a lot easier just to like go grab the Spotify API and be able to like use that, get the JSON, like throw songs up on the web than it is to like send stuff back into Spotify. But yeah, those are the kind of projects that I would recommend. And if you can do that fetching and displaying data project with a framework, all the better. Kevin is cool too. Above average, one more game to go. That's what's up, man. What's your average? What's your average, Craig? I did that same thing and every one of those startup CEOs ghosted me. Ramsey, you better go. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe it was a different list. No, the CEO of the place that I ended up working for was super cool, but he left like 3 months before I left. So local meetup groups are a good place too. Nothing like a personal connection or a friend of a friend type of link. Absolutely true, Josh. Yeah, local meetups. I thought no way would anybody actually go to this crap when I first started like learning code and they told me about meetups. Dude, like people show out for these things. I don't know if it's the free pizza, the free coffee or what, but like people show out for these like developer meetups. And they're fun too. Like it's a good time and you can make friends and you can meet people and you can talk and you can laugh and you talk about code and it's like pretty cool. Have you helped interview devs for any of your jobs? I helped interview a sales engineer for my last job, like somebody who would be developer minded, but on the sales team. I sat in on interviews for the first job that I had because everybody did. It was a small company. Like we were a company of 50 and there were maybe like 15 or 20 devs total when I was there. And so if you were a developer coming in for an interview to be hired, you would have to give like a 10 to 15 minute presentation to all of the developers in the company. So we'd go in the big conference room, all of the developers would be sitting down, and the person trying to get the job as a developer would give a presentation on something. So I've seen that, but I've never been on like a one-on-one interview for those companies. My company is about to hire somebody new, maybe, hopefully, and I'll be a part of the interview process for that. So we'll see soon. What type of project I build with React and Redux for a project? So let's see. I'll give you the first React and Redux project I ever built that wasn't based off a Udemy course. The first React and Redux project I ever built was a high-low game, which is a card game where you guess high and low and you get points based upon how many cards are in the deck and how many you get right. I didn't know all the rules when I first started building the game, but what I did was there's a API, deck of cards API. So I used that, fetched data from the deck of cards API. You'd have to keep track of how many cards were left in the deck, what cards have been pulled already, all of that stuff. And then you click like higher or lower and then like flip the card. And yeah, so I did that. That was the first project I built with React and Redux. And Redux handles all the state management. React handles making the front end nice and in sync. All things are golden. What is up, Tevin? How are you? And let's see, what time is it? I'm going to have to run very, very shortly. I have to go run an errand after this. Yo, it's Chris Sean. It might not be, Ramsey. You better interrogate him. You should know. You're like an AI. You should know if that's real Chris or fake Chris. Anyone looking to attend a bootcamp for free and don't want to quit your current job, take a look at C4Q. I do not know it. I've never used Redux or Redux. But what about Green Ducks or Air Ducks? I don't like bowling because I suck at it. I like Topgolf a whole lot more. Way more fun sucking at Topgolf than bowling. I've never been to a Topgolf because we don't have one here in the Triangle. I really want to try it though. I like regular golf though. Presentation, it can be about anything. Like some people like present it on like books they've liked. It's weird. Like when you give somebody like an open forum, like, hey, give us 30 minutes of a presentation on a subject of your interest. People sometimes don't think about like, I'm applying for a developer job, I should do this on a developer topic. I don't know. It's interesting. Chris Sean. What's up, man? How are you liking the GH5? This is what Chris Sean does, though. He hops in my stream, he says hi, he hangs out for a second, and then he runs away before he answers any of my questions. Because it takes me 47 minutes to answer any question in chat. So by the time I read his hello message, he's already gone. How hard do you think it would be getting a junior role interview if I go abroad? I have no idea. I don't know what the developer market is like overseas. The only place I have any inkling of an idea is South Africa. And in South Africa, there's a pretty decent amount of jobs, but there's also a pretty decent amount of people coming out of college job ready or close to job ready, or at least with a computer science degree. I feel confident that if I went to South Africa, I could get a job pretty quickly with my experience now. Yeah, I think I could get a job in South Africa pretty quickly with the experience I have now. If you've never had a job before, I would assume it would be a little bit harder, just because you can't really prove that you have the skills. And I don't know about immigration laws, patterns, and like visa privileges and like getting approved for a visa if you've never actually worked in the industry, but you're claiming to want to work in that industry. I don't know how any of that works. Just started watching Chris and Aaron, and here they are. Thanks for all the great videos, guys. That's what's up, Tevin. I'm glad you enjoy the content. You can go ahead and say it in the chat if you want to. Chris isn't here anymore. You can tell me that my videos are better than his. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You don't have to pick one of us, but I know him better. So Chris, how's it going, man? Really good food at Topgolf too. Really? Do you have mini golf over at Frankie's, though? Yeah, we do have mini golf over at Frankie's. But if you want the real competition at Frankie's, you hop on them go-karts, Ramsey. Don't catch me on the track, though, Ramsey. Don't catch me on the track. Ask my wife. I'm a fiend when it comes to go-karts. I don't mess around. Love me some go-karts. I got kicked out of a go-kart track in Gatlinburg, Tennessee when I was like 12 years old because I like thought I was a badass and I didn't need the back seat protector because I thought I was tall enough. So I like took it out and I like sat in the go-kart and I'm like going. And then I realized my leg wasn't long enough to like hit the brake pedal. So I like just rammed into the back of this chick in front of me when we were trying to stop. Like when like it was over, I just like rammed right into her because I couldn't push the brake pedal down all the way. And then I got really upset because the guy like threatened to kick me out. So I like ran over to my mom and like tripped on the track. It was like a very bad experience. It's like if you've ever been to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, there's like a big NASCAR, like go-kart, like track complex thing. It was that. And it was awesome until it wasn't awesome anymore. Well, it looks like the chat is slowing down. We have 25 people in here now. Guys, I appreciate you coming out. I know it has been way, way, way too long since I've done one of these. I'm going to start doing them weekly again, once a week, maybe not always on the same day. There are some things changing with my work and my schedule, so I might have to switch it up week to week and see what it is. Hopefully I can do them all on the same night, but we will have to see. But I appreciate you guys coming out. I am going to hop off of here. I've got to go run to Walmart. I need to buy propane and some other stuff. Yeah. But I appreciate after the long break that I took, you guys coming out and supporting the channel, saying hi, saying what's up, chatting, interacting, and we're back on the path now. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have anything that you want to see in videos in the future, feel free to leave it in the comments of this video, or you can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Twitter at 937Aaron. Just hit me up on there. Let me know what you want to see in videos. I'm always open to suggestions. It's not easy coming up with new videos, topics all the time. So yeah, let me know what you want to see. I love you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do for me. Honestly, you're amazing. The amount of support on the last video, it's super nerve-wracking to post a video about something like that because the internet's the internet and it's populated with a ton of trolls and you just expect like something, right? And it's been a day now and nothing stupid has been said, which is awesome. So honestly, I appreciate all of you guys. You all rock. I will be back very soon. I will see you again next time. Bye. And now it's awkward because I say bye and then I'm going to hit the button and then it's going to take a couple seconds, but no.